Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of Utter Loyalty. We are here in Stockholm and today's episode is kindly sponsored by Braze. We're actually at their Grow with Braze event here in Stockholm, and today I'm joined by the wonderful Charlotte, who leads loyalty for Marshall Group. We are going down the rock and roll groove here, but I'll let Charlotte introduce herself. But you know, another real Nordic-centric brand, and yeah, I'll just let you talk about who Marshall are and what you've done from a loyalty perspective. I know it's fresh today because you've only just launched it, but I'd love to hear more about what you've been up to.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, we just launched a few days ago, last week, loyalty team for Marshall. So Marshall is the audio tech and design company rooted in the iconic music brand Marshall. So Marshall Group was formed 2023 by merging the consumer audio company Sound Industries and the legendary iconic guitar amplifier maker Marshall Amplification. So now we are basically a powerhouse of offering the whole ecosystem of amplifiers, speakers, headphones to musicians and to music lovers. We also have a record label and so on. Yeah, that's Marshall.
So cool. For all you music lovers out there, I'm sure we'll have a few listeners today who are very interested in what Marshall have been up to. So you've just launched your loyalty program, which is I guess labelled a loyalty program, but I guess Marshall in essence has had a very loyal audience anyway. So how have you gone about introducing loyalty?
Yeah, we're labeling it membership actually. We want to create that sense of belonging to our brand, and I believe it all started with the fact that we really wanted to give back to those people and really give back to them and treat them in a nice way, and then obviously also want to look at how we can keep those people and new fans, keep them loyal.
I mean, we've talked, you know, we're at the Grow with Braze event today, and we've heard a lot about the importance of emotional connection. I've talked a lot to various different people in the loyalty community about how loyalty needs, you know, moving forward and to be successful in loyalty, it has to move beyond that base level value exchange of points or discounts or basic reward. And it was interesting today, wasn't it, when everybody, you know, we got people to stand up if they'd actually joined a loyalty program just for the reward and then kind of escaped afterwards or left the loyalty program. But actually for Marshall, you know, it is very much about emotional connection, isn't it? And so how and also giving back, isn't it? You know, talk to us a little bit about how you're engaging beyond.
Yeah, that's right. When we decided that we wanted to start looking at membership as a company, it was important to start with the brand, also something that only Marshall can deliver on, and also that feels rock and roll. So yeah, and a classical loyalty program with a points scheme and tiers and discounts.
It was a no-no.
So we really started from the heart of the brand, in our DNA and our culture rooted in music, and looked at what type of value do we want to offer that is not that. And obviously there is a layer of functional needs that a consumer have, you know, free shipping and early access and priority support at customer service, warranties and such will always be important for the consumer, but that's not where we wanted to start. So we wanted to build on the access part, so making sure that, you know, the access that we as a brand have to the music and the music culture scene, that we were able to spread out to our most loyal consumers and share the joy of that together with them and create unique best case money can't buy type of experience that we are able to deliver as Marshall. And then also, embed a real purpose into the membership program. So those things were
That's
really
interesting.
important.
You use the word joy. I think that's a perfect word that works with loyalty, because certainly as we look, lift our head and look forward for, those loyalty practitioners out there, it is about trying to bring the joy factor, isn't it? With you, obviously you've got, a fantastic brand to work with, and, there will be, loyalty practitioners out there that perhaps doesn't have such a strong brand, but everybody has a connection in some way, and it's actually that sort of joy connection with the brand, isn't it, that you're trying to deliver? Yeah, fantastic. What did you get from today's event? What was your overriding thoughts from the event today? What are you taking away from today's event?
The purpose I was talking about, and the importance for us to give back to the music industry.
Yes.
So basically, it's in Marshall's DNA to support grassroots music and to be part of that culture where it all started. That's so important for us, and they are struggling now. They're massively struggling. So Marshall are committed to support and do the best we can to keep live music alive. And this is nothing new for Marshall. We've done this in 60 plus years. But what's new now is that we have embedded it into the loyalty program and into the loyalty team. So we're actually committing to that members that buy from Marshall.com are part and belongs to that commitment from ours, and we will give back a percentage of all purchases directly back to the music industry, to grassroots music, and more precise, independent music venues.
Wow.
So that's something we're really proud of.
That's amazing.
And yeah, as I said, important part of it is that it's really the mechanics are embedded into the program. So it's real. It's not something we're just saying. It's something we're actually doing.
And so you talked on stage today with Heidi, and she asked you the question about what you're obsessing about and what you're not obsessing about. Share with our, from a measurement perspective, what does success look like for you? Talk to us about how you answered that question today, because I thought it was fascinating.
If people are engaged in our brand, then the rest will follow. That's my firm belief. So in the first 6 months of the program, I'd like to measure how people, of course, genuinely sign up and join the program. Obviously, that's a key metric to look at. But also how they are engaging and actively engaging in other type of activities that we do, or events we put up, or emails we send, or whatever it might be that sits in the loyalty team, that they're actually taking part and being part of that.
But in one of my previous podcast interviews with Emily Wells from Sainsbury's, she heads up transformation, and she talks about this flywheel effect of, the data, leadership, future thinking, and the customer almost all having to work as a cycle, constantly moving, constantly growing. Well, obviously the loyalty program will grow on the basis that you are constantly moving. How does that work for Marshall? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, of course. I think another way to describe it that our CMO said, sorry Nick, he said, you created a Tamagotchi. You have to feed it.
You do?
Yeah.
It doesn't stand, it doesn't stand still.
Yeah. Tamagotchi. Yeah, absolutely. It's something that you need to feed into, and there's so many. That's also throughout the work that we've done now with Amplify the past years, with setting the foundation for everything. It's been eye-opening to understand how many parts of the business that are involved in that.
It touches every department.
It touches basically every thing we do.
But how do you? I mean, obviously, a massive part of loyalty working is getting buy-in from the top. How have you gone about? I guess is it through the business case in terms, you know, the fact that you're not obsessing with that commercial impact now. A lot of people are struggling with that, and actually their leadership is like, how is this paying back? You know, it's never going to be the silver bullet, but how did you prove, or how did you present the case that actually you need to give it time? Or, you know, obviously it does have to come from the top.
Yeah. I think some people might be frustrated by the answer, but I must say that our leadership is already there. It hasn't been that hard because they really understand the value of the brand, the value of creating deep emotional connection with the loyal consumers and make them stay. Because I think overall, we talked about discount is not the way to go, but overall, especially in our business where it's quite a low frequency purchase type of business, you're not buying headphones so often as you're buying groceries. It's so important that we keep them and make them stay loyal in between purchases. And then it's, I'm not saying it's impossible, but you know, to measure lifetime value of a electronic consumer, you need to be a bit patient.
Yeah, I mean, there will be a lot of people listening to that are slightly frustrated that they're not in the same position, and actually they struggle with that stakeholder management piece around almost getting, you know, the leadership from the top down really believing in it. And you know, it's absolutely fantastic that you as a business are on that, you know, pathway anyway, which is fantastic. One thing to end, Charlotte, in the podcast we talk about ta-da moments, which are celebratory moments. You've just launched this program, so that in itself is a ta-da moment. But in your journey to launch that loyalty program, what would you say is your biggest ta-da moment so far?
I actually have one.
Good, I love this.
I'm happy that I already have one. We launched 9 days ago. And we put out our first experience that we wanted to. I talk a lot about experiences, right? And that's so important. Those both physical experience that when you experience a brand and really get that connection with the brand.
Yeah.
I think that you could do that digitally, but the physical connection is so important. That's what we've seen also when we looked at consumer research and connecting to building the concept around Amplify. And we pull up our very first opportunity. So we have tomorrow a so-called Tone Sanctuary in Austin, Texas.
Oh, wow.
And that's where artists come in and get to play our amps and get to experience maybe things that we have not released yet and get to meet our artist relations team, etc. And this time now, as we have launched our loyalty team, we invited consumers to come join us in that.
Oh, wow.
And it was Friday night. I was reading the email from a guy called Trevor. That's like a self-described bedroom guitarist. He's been dreaming of getting his very first Marshall amp. He can't really afford it yet, but he's dreaming about it. And tomorrow he will be there. He will be there among the other artists, try our amps, meet our team. And I think that's genuinely so strong to see that those moments where, you know, fans that grew up with seeing the culture around music and being inspired by that suddenly find themselves at that moment.
Because they've remained so loyal. I mean, that's ultimate goosebump moment there, Charlotte. Absolutely fantastic. I could talk to you for a long time, and rock and roll. And are you going to any concerts soon? Any who's your band of choice?
There is always a live concert.
Yeah, I bet.
Every night in any town, right? So yeah.
I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm coming. Thank you so much, Charlotte. You've been an amazing guest. Take care.